Camera number 299 of 365 is the Pentax Zoom 90 WR. WR apparently stands for weather resistant. The camera apparently has a coating that makes it water resistant, but we can't take it deep sea diving, so that's not a good idea. And our little sticker here to show that indeed it will withstand 3 drops of water, so that's good. Apparently there is, as I say, a coating that protects the camera. We mustn't wash the camera with soap, but we can wipe it clean if we need to. The lens, it has a focal range of, I believe he says, looking at the manual, 38 to 90 millimeter range. The reason I've got the manual handy is that it does have quite a number of features, and I'll probably forget, and I won't be able to cover them all in detail. I do find the menu a little bit confusing, if I'm perfectly honest. So anyway, we'll get there hopefully together if we can. So the batteries are 2 CR123 batteries, and we have to undo that, so let's just do that. So there we go, there's the 2 CR123 batteries, and then we can hopefully put the door back on. Thank you. And there we go, a little noise to confirm that it does seem to be working. So looking at the front then, we have a little button on the side here which has a mount in. So by pressing that, let's in fact turn the camera on first, shall we? That's a good idea. How do we do that? We do that with the button behind. So turning the camera on, there we go. And then this little button here is for distance. So by pressing that button, I believe, if I've understood it correctly, it's a good button to use when we're using perhaps landscapes, so make sure that everything is in focus and nice and sharp. So that's useful to know there. Dedicated button for that. As indeed there is a dedicated button for macro photography, this little green button. By pressing that out, you'll notice focal length extends to 90, and the focal length is 38 to 90 millimeters, and by pressing that button we go to macro mode. The liquid crystal display tells us everything. There's very little, in fact there's nothing through the viewfinder. We only get a couple of LEDs confirming focus and whether indeed flash is required. The zoom lens can be operated with these 2 rocker buttons, so we can go the full length 90, or we can go, looks like we can do it in 5 millimeter, so we can go from 38 to 90 like that, or whatever we like really. There we go. The full length of the lens, let's just push that out to show. This is not a camera you can put in your pocket, it is quite big, hence the strap is really unnecessary to have. And then we can choose a spot focusing mode. That's very nice to spot autofocus, auto exposure. Sorry, autofocus it says there. Sorry, I can't read it properly. And then our mode button will cycle through various options: flash, no flash. That's bulb mode. There are a couple of bulb modes. There's bulb, and then there's bulb timer, and then there's bulb sync. I think that's that button. And then round the other side we do have a couple of other buttons. Just lift that panel out of the way. A couple of other buttons here. The drive mode and flash mode. Drive mode, pressing the drive mode button takes us through timer, double timer, multiple exposures. We can do what can we do? Multiple exposure. We can do interval timing. There we go, interval timing. Double exposures, we can do that as well. So it really has a lot of functionality inside the camera. So that's just pressing the drive mode, and then the flash button provides us with another array of different flash options. I think it's just red eye actually, thinking about it. there, flash with red eye or not. We can slide our panel down. Put our film in our camera. Let's just put that zoom lens back in. We just slide the button, and then we can put our DX coded film. It will only take DX coded film apparently, so it won't operate if it doesn't have a DX coding. There's a button here for a self-timer. Now actually the self-timer, this is one of the clever things about this camera, it is actually built into that little slidey thing. So by pressing the button, we can slide this little panel out, and this now takes on the persona of a self-timer, and I believe, if I'm correct, I don't know whether there's any batteries in it, that's the thing. Is there any batteries in it? Perhaps there isn't. No, I will have to investigate that, because it does seem to indicate that the lens can be activated using this remote control. So I will have to investigate. I presume the battery comes out somewhere around here, maybe. That looks like to be, yes. Well, we'll investigate that. But that's a very interesting, I have seen that with another camera, I seem to recall, that had the built-in remote, but that's nice to see that you can put it away. It's part of the camera. You wouldn't know that that was the case, would you, looking at the camera? So that just increases the usefulness of the camera. I literally have glazed over the functions there, but hopefully I've given you a sense of how feature-rich this camera really is. Is it worth it looking at? Well, maybe looking at the photographs at the end will give you a viewpoint. But that has been camera number 299 of 365.